I've played Rumours on 100 different systems, from a battered Technics turntable rescue from a pawn shop to a meticulously tuned Onkyo setup pushing sound through Bose 901s in a treated listening room that smells faintly of tube amps and record sleeves. Doesn't matter where I drop the needle, secondhand news always punches through like the first time. And I swear, every time I listen, I hear something new. That's the magic. That's Fleetwood Mac. That's Rumours. That's why I'm telling this story. Because if you care about the soul of recorded music, the warmth of analog, the heartbreak frozen into tape, you have to experience the music of Rumours. This isn't nostalgia. This is a pilgrimage. California cocaine, broken love, Malibu sunlight filtered through blinds and emotional fallout. Fleetwood Mac didn't just record Rumours. They bled it. This was a band shattered by affairs, fueled by dysfunction, stitched together by songcraft so perfect it still feels supernatural. And yet it's also painfully human. These aren't fairy tales. They're field recordings from the wreckage. You hear that from the first downstroke of Lindsey Buckingham's rhythm guitar. It's unrelenting, like he's slashing at his own past. Secondhand news kicks off the album like a door being kicked in, on the right setup. Let's say Klipsch Heresy IVs fed by a Luxman tube amp. The acoustic grit cuts straight through the room. It's dry, tight, urgent. You're not listening to a song. You're caught in a breakup argument with reverb on the walls. Secondhand news. This track kicks the door open with a grin that hides a bruise. Buckingham stacked those guitars like armor, a rhythmic thrum that won't let up. The acoustic drives it forward. The electric stabs through like jagged thoughts. And there's that strange Scottish gallop. Almost a jig, almost a fight. Underneath it all is Lindsey, bleeding privately but performing publicly. This is breakup theater at 120 BPM. The vocal is dry, close, even playful, but listen again. He's daring Stevie to hear it. That bounce, that's defiance. Dreams. Now we're weightless. Stevie doesn't just sing dreams, she summons it. Her phrasing drifts untethered, carried by Mick Fleetwood's hi-hats that sizzle like rain on a tin roof. The Rhodes and bass lines slip around each other like shadows in candlelight. This is minimalism with a pulse. And that line, thunder only happens when it's raining, isn't just poetry, it's prophecy. Stevie's delivery is hypnotic because she's not asking you to understand. She already knows you do, never going back again. A study in isolation. Lindsey's guitar sounds like it's carved from sunlight, recorded so close you swear you can smell the wood grain. It's one mic on the strings and another on the soul. His voice barely rises above the guitar, as if he's too tired to cry, but still trying to sing. The space between each pluck is brutal. You hear the silence in this one just as clearly as the notes. And when it ends, you don't applaud. You exhale. Don't stop. Piano up front, smile painted on, but underneath it, chaos barely disguised. Christine plays the optimist here, but the harmonies are off-kilter. Listen with headphones and isolate Lindsey's backing vocal. There's sarcasm in his tone. It's bitter optimism, hope laced with salt. The production's slick. The groove is tight, but the message is cracked glass. I once ran this track through a Macintosh amp into JBL L100s. Those horns pulled every drop of tension from Christine's chorus. You can feel the fake smile cracking. Go your own way. There's no masking the rage here. This is heartbreak with its fists up. Lindsey's rhythm guitar sounds like a fist fight in a hallway. That galloping groove is barely under control, like the wheels are coming off. And that's the point. He sings like he's spitting the words between clenched teeth. Then comes a solo, and all hell breaks loose. Jagged, cutting raw. Not clean, not perfect, just real. Play it loud through clean Class A power, and you'll feel every sting in the tone. This one doesn't ask you to feel anything. It demands it. Songbird. The stillest moment on the record. Christine, a piano, an empty auditorium. No band. No armor. Just vulnerability, mic'd with reverence. 15 mics in that room to capture the air itself. On the right system, you don't hear the song. You join it. Her voice is clear but not polished, warm but not showy. The roses on the piano weren't props. They were offerings. This track doesn't play like a performance. It plays like a prayer. The chain, built from broken parts. A Frankenstein of hurt and history. The acoustic guitar intro was grafted from another song. The bass line composed later. The final section a heartbeat accelerating into fury. And yet, it holds together like ritual. That break, the bass drop, is more than iconic. It's a warning. Listen through a solid sealed sub, and you'll feel it rise from the floor like a storm forming. The second half of the song sounds like escape, but not freedom, just the need to run. You make loving fun. Christine again, now hiding her new love behind layers of groove. That clavinet flickers like candlelight. The rhythm section flows like warm syrup, and her vocal is silky enough to fool you, but there's tension under the smoothness. That space between keys and kick drum. Something's not being said. The studio bleed gives a breath. This track is a dance on a fault line. It smiles while keeping a secret. I don't want to know a song she didn't want on the record until she made it hers. Stevie's delivery is upbeat on the surface, but behind the harmonies, there's grit. She's not asking for permission. She's throwing a final punch. The guitars chime like it's a Bird's track, but faster, tighter, barely holding it together. The stereo spread on this cut is criminally good, with proper imaging. The band surrounds you, and Stevie's right there, in your ear, daring you to move on before she does. Oh, Daddy. Dark corridors and closed doors. Christine sings this like she's trapped in a riddle, the words half-spoken, half-swallowed. That ghostly piano effect achieved with tape manipulation bends reality slightly. Mick's drums are behind a curtain, just a presence, not a pattern. Through the right speakers, say, spend a D7s or anything tuned for realism. This song feels haunted. You're not sure who she's singing to. That's what makes it unsettling. Gold Dust Woman. This is where Stevie stops being mortal. The vocal is smeared in reverb. The guitar scratched like sandpaper, and mood, pure ritual. You don't listen to this one. You undergo it. Mick add percussion like a shaman. Cowbell weird echoes, distant crashes. The lyrics are less narrative than spellcraft. And the end, where unravels into whispers and screams. That's not collapse. That's transformation. Played loud on a revealing system. This track isn't music anymore. It's exorcism. You don't get Rumours without the 5 people tearing each other apart to make it. Stevie nicks the medium. Stevie is more than just a singer. She's a conduit for something that comes from far beyond the human realm. When she sings, she doesn't just use her voice, she channels visions. It's not about technique or polish. It's the spirit she brings to the room, the connection she has to something mystical. Her phrasing feels less like something studied and more like something tapped into, like she's passing along messages from another place, a place where emotions can be understood without words. There's a rawness to her voice, a hesitancy in her delivery that invites you in, but you don't really control what happens after. When Stevie sings, she reaches out with a hand to pull you into her world, and you don't come back the same. Her presence on Rumours is the thread that ties the album's chaos together. Whether it's on Dreams or Gold Dust Woman, her voice doesn't just accompany the song, it becomes it. Lindsey Buckingham, the obsessive genius. Lindsey is the wildfire and the control all at once. Brilliant, obsessive, driven, and often at odds with the very people he loved. Lindsey's fingerprints are all over Rumours. The sound of the album, the texture, the tone, the precision, is his obsessive quest for perfection in every guitar strum and every vocal performance. His guitar work on this album isn't just about playing. It's about shaping sound, using an arsenal of analog gear and techniques that would make a gearhead salivate. The layered textures of the guitars, from the rhythmic chaos and secondhand news to the soaring guitar solo in Go Your Own Way, are masterclasses in analog recording and tone. His insistence on taking risks with production made Rumours feel alive in ways that were so ahead of its time. And the vocals, the vocals, there's nothing casual about Lindsey's approach. Every word is a battle, every note a statement. That passion and fire fuse with his quiet moments like never going back again. define the album's emotional roller coaster. His contribution is the heart of Rumours, even when it's beating erratically. Christine McVie, the quiet thunder. Christine is the calm in the storm, the steady hand that pulls the music together. Her voice is warm and inviting, yet there's a deep emotional gravity in every word she sings. She's a balm when the other members are unraveling, the counterpoint to Lindsey's volatility and Stevie's ethereal flights. But don't mistake her serenity for softness. Christine's songwriting is nothing short of architectural. Each chord, each progression carefully constructed to create a sense of space and depth. Her songs like Songbird and You Make Loving Fun are emotional blueprints, balancing vulnerability with strength. She writes like she's inviting you into her personal diary, soft, intimate, but ultimately revealing the raw truth of her experiences. Her keyboard work on Rumours is like a foundation, subtly supporting the structure of the album while never drawing attention to itself. She doesn't need to steal the show. Her music stays with you in a way that feels both timeless and deeply personal. John McVie, the pillar. John's role in Rumours is deceptively simple. While the other members are expressing every raw emotion and burst of energy, John stands as a pillar. His bass playing is all about restraint. It's a steady pulse that anchors every song, grounding the chaos above him. In a world where every note has to feel like it's fighting for attention, John's contribution is what doesn't move. His bass lines don't demand the spotlight, and that's why they're so essential. When you listen to The Chain, you realize just how much power there is in a single, deliberate note. His bass line isn't just a foundation, it's the breath in between every chaotic vocal delivery. It's what allows the band to soar, knowing that John's playing is a tether, keeping everything from floating away into the ether. Mick Fleetwood, the pulse. Mick is the heartbeat of Fleetwood Mac, the rhythm that sustains everything. He's a drummer who doesn't just play time. He feels it. His playing on Rumours is less about precision and more about presence. His fills are unconventional, erratic at times, but they always seem to land exactly when they need to. There's a tribal aspect to his drumming, a primal energy that pulses through every track. And Mick knows how to disappear. He's not trying to be flashy or steal the moment. He knows when to hold back, when to make space for the other voices to rise. But when it's his time to shine, he brings the fire. The Chain is the perfect example of his skill in action. The iconic drum breakdown midway through doesn't just mark a transition, it shifts the entire energy of the track. Through Mick, you can feel the tension rise, the storm gathering. But when it's time to release, he's right there, perfectly in sync with the rest of the band, guiding the music forward. On Rumours, Mick isn't just playing drums. He's laying down the pulse of a band at war with itself, but still somehow holding together. These 5 individuals didn't just make Rumours, they bled into it. Each one brought a piece of themselves to the table, and doing so, created an album that feels timeless, layered with their lives, their pains, and their victories. Every time you listen, you hear not just a song, but a moment in history. And somehow, in that chaos, there's something oddly perfect, something real. They recorded most of Rumours at the record plant in Sausalito. 2-inch tape, Neve consoles. Late night takes between fights and flings. The production team, Ken Kelly and Richard Dassut, deserve sainthood. They captured chaos and carved it into harmony. That's engineering with heart. Here's the part that blows my mind. Rumours is still growing, not just in sales, in spirit. Kids born decades after it's released by it on vinyl before they know what Fleetwood Mac even sounds like. Audiophiles seek out the first pressing like it's treasure. MO5 did a reissue on 45 RPM that sounds like time travel. And let's not forget the 5.1 surround mix that puts you inside the studio. Social media has only deepened the obsession. Stevie TikToks, Fleetwood memes, vinyl community halls. Everyone's got a favorite pressing. I once spent an hour on YouTube watching a kid compare the US, UK, and Japanese pressings of Rumours like he was decoding scripture. It's not just hype. This album is built for audiophile listening. The layering, the separation, the dynamics. You can hear each breath, each slip of the pick, each strain in the voice. Through a great system, it doesn't sound retro. It sounds alive. When I listen to Rumours, I don't hear the 70s. I hear human truth pressed into vinyl. I hear 5 people trying to make something bigger than their pain and succeeding. That's why we still come back. That's why it never gets old. Because there's no digital plugin for emotion. There's no streaming algorithm that can replicate the sound of real life caught on tape. So if you've never heard Fleetwood Mac's Rumours on a true hi-fi system, do it. If you own it on vinyl, cue it up tonight. If you got headphones with real range, listen to Gold Dust Woman in the dark and feel your spine crawl. But whatever you do, experience the music. That's it for today's episode of Experience the Music. If you like this, make sure to subscribe to my Experience the Music YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at KP Life in Motion for more real talk on experiencing the music. Both links are available in the description below.